Hey guys, Stupendous here, and today we're gonna be making an operator tier list. Oh, tier list. Sorry. It took me a while to find one with a Rooney and the new Tachanka, but we found it. So I'm just gonna hold on, change the tiers here. Hold on. All right. So what I'm gonna be ranking this off of is like the current meta and that kind of stuff. So people with I mean, hard breachers have always been good, so they'll be pretty high. Um, uh, Defenders really with like utility, like soak that kind of stuff, like denial, all that kind of stuff, and yeah. So we're gonna start just how they're showcased here. So Ace is an S tier operator. I don't think anyone disputes that. He has the AK-12, which statistically is the best gun. It's not my favorite, but like you can't deny it's really good. They did nerf him by getting rid of one of his like explosions on his charge, but doesn't really matter. You can still vault through it, and yeah, just all around smoke grenades, 2 speed, um, and like yeah, he's all around a great operator. So yeah, Alibi. This is kind of tough. I'd put her C tier, but I'd say she's like between C and B for me because with like one like minor buff, she could probably move up to B. But Alibi, she has a shield which is really good. Her gun is really good, and her gadget can be useful on certain sites and like rooms and that kind of stuff. And she's also a 3 speed, so that's good. But really, it's just she doesn't. Her gadget is kind of like hit or miss. It's not as risky as like bringing a cav or something, but uh, you're not guaranteed to get utility out of it. But yeah, she's still pretty good. Amaru, I'd also put C. A while ago, Amaru would be F, but she has the hard breach gadget now, and stuns if you need an extra pair of stuns. Um, Her gadget, with all the changes, she can actually be kind of viable against a mid to like bad enemy team. She also has the G8, which is one of the best guns on attack, and yeah, just all around all right operator. Ash, I would also put S because um, the change when they took her stuns and gave her an extra um, breaching chart or breaching round, I would see that as a buff because there's already enough really viable attackers with stuns who you're bringing anyway. So and an extra explosion is really useful. Um, Great gun, probably one of the best guns, the best entry operator usually. Um, and right now I'd say she's like the same you know level as Zofia. 3 speed. Um, yeah, the R4C is great, and all around just a really good operator. Bandit, I put B. A while ago, Bandit is actually like really good, but now he's kind of fallen off just because like Kaid is really good. Still a great gun. Still a good. If Kaid's banned, you pretty much have to bring him, and Kaid does get banned a lot now with like the Thatcher bans and all that stuff. So yeah, Bandit is pretty useful. The Thatcher change really didn't affect him, but yeah, still really good. 3 speed, C4. Yeah, good operator. Blackbeard, I'd put D. Uh, Blackbeard really doesn't bring a lot, except for like stuns, I guess. Against a bad team where you're not even gonna like being when you're not gonna be using utility that much, he can be useful because it's pretty much like a free one or two shots to the head before you die. But the guns aren't very good. Uh, he's really slow with the shield up and the shield to break too easily. So yeah, there's really no reason to bring Blackbeard. Blitz. This is tough. Uh, I also put Blitz D because he really doesn't. Um, Same as Blackbeard, he doesn't bring a lot. But he is good against a bad team if you're just like on a full rush strat. Um, he has smokes, which is useful, but like so does Montaigne, and Montaigne's just a better shield operator. Uh, you get hit too easily. You have to get pretty close to actually like flash them, but very frustrating to play against if your team isn't coordinated and they just let the blitz rush site. But yeah, blitz not the best, but yeah. Buck I put B. Kind of the same as Bandit. Kind of fell off. When he had the frags and the ACOG, he was the best soft breacher, like that kind of character. But now Sledge just like outshines him in most categories. But he's still good if you want to bring him in addition to Sledge. He has the stuns. He has the skeleton key is still useful, but yeah, he lost the ACOG and the frags, and that really just puts him down a bit. Capitao is A tier, I'd say. He doesn't get banned as much as you would think, or like he really should. And he doesn't get brought as much as he should. The smokes are really useful, just like any character. The firebolts are really useful as well. You can get defenders like out of locations and to like set up a plant, that kind of stuff. Still a 3 speed. The AR kind of lost out. It doesn't have an ACOG and it doesn't have the best stats, but the LMG is actually really good, and that still has an ACOG and just 100 bullets to like yeah, he's really good at like setting up the plant and like helping with that. But he also just has a lot of utility, and yeah, Capitao really great operator. Castle, this is tough. I'll put him B. Castle, one of my favorite defenders, but his primary isn't that good, but he does have the 1.5 on the UMP, so that is useful. And the secondary shotgun also really useful. If he still had the impacts, he might be higher because he's like the perfect impact tricking operator. But the secondary gadgets he has aren't really useful. But the gadget is good for stalling out, utility, that kind of stuff, and yeah, I would say pretty solid operator. Caveira F tier. Caveira doesn't bring a lot unless you can get an interrogation off, and against a good team, they're gonna be holding flank, and her guns just don't do it at all. But yeah, against an uncoordinated attacking team, you can do well with Cav, but yeah, just not really a very good operator. Clash, I'd also put B. Clash is really annoying, and she gets banned a lot. But if you can bring her, she just helps with the defense, getting utility or getting info. It's really weird that she does damage. You can kill people and like set up kills really easily if you have any kind of teamwork. And yeah, her secondary SMG is really good too, and yeah, just a pretty good operator, and but really annoying. Doc, uh, Doc, I'll put C. I'll move Amari down actually. All right, yeah. Doc, um, he lost the ACOG. Doesn't even have a 2.0. The stims are useful if you want to go on like a solo roam kind of like if you're really skilled like with aim and that kind of stuff. He can be useful, but there's really just better operators to use if you're gonna try to like frag out or whatever. But still okay if you don't really have anyone to bring, but not the best. Dokubi, I'd put I'll put her A. Dokubi is she got her frags back, which is really useful. Really what keeps her being really good is her loadout. The DMR does have a 3.0, which is pretty useful, and the C75 is a really good gun. It's just the iron sights kind of keep it from being like SMG 11 tier or whatever. So yeah, her calls are really useful if you are gonna push or like hunt roamers, like get someone out of a location. Um, and the like hacking the phones to get into the cams is really useful as well. So yeah, Dokkaebi, a pretty solid operator. Echo, it's kind of tough. I'll put Echo C. After the invisibility nerf thing, he's not that good, really. Maestro's just better in like all respects, really. Um, Let me think. Uh, Really, his drone at this point is like a worse C4 because you really just throw it out to get one use, and then if it's more than one person, uh, that's like doing the plant, like if someone's covering, they're just gonna shoot it, and you might not even get the stun off. So, yeah, not good at gathering utility anymore because they can just see where they're getting spotted from, and yeah, just kind of fell out. Doesn't have an ACOG anymore. He got the shield back, which is helpful, but yeah, not. And his gun isn't like super great, and the Bearing 9 is an alright machine pistol, but yeah, he really just lost out on a lot with the cloaking nerf, and I feel like they're gonna do some sort of rework of the cloaking because I don't think they're gonna keep him in his current state right now. But yeah, Ela, this is tough. Ela is like I feel the same as Alibi. Like with a couple buffs, she could be like really great. So I'll put her C. What really keeps her is her gun. Um, Her gadget is really annoying, and I feel like they're gonna nerf it because pros are always complaining about it. She still has a shield, 3 speed. Her gun used to be really good, but they messed with its recoil, and like a year ago now, kept messing with the recoil and all that stuff. But she she's okay now. The gun just isn't very good. But yeah, I feel like if they just I don't know. I don't think they can really rework her gun. But I feel like when she had the lowered recoil for like the first whatever shots, she was useful. But yeah, Ela can be really good if they buff her a bit. Finka, I'll put D. Maybe F. This is tough. Finka just doesn't the same with any character like D and below just doesn't bring a lot to the team. Um, and you would think like why? Because she has healing and recoil. The recoil is really daunting and it like or jarring and it really like doesn't help and it usually hinders your team more than it helps you. The health is helpful, I guess, but it's not. And the res is okay, but it's really situational. You can't hear anything when you're in Finka Boost, and like if you're playing with 5 players, which you're usually not, um, it's really tough to just coordinate when everyone's ready for the boost and you're all gonna push. But yeah, her guns also aren't good at all. She has frags, which is useful, but yeah, just not a very great operator. Frost, I'll also put in this tier. Frost, I don't know if they gave her like an extra trap, she could move up because her gun is pretty good against bots. Because it just does a lot of damage. It has a 1.5. She has a shotgun, a secondary shotgun now. Uh, she has a shield, 2 speed, and the traps are also good if you put them in like really weird spots. You can get some downs with them. And yeah, just if she got maybe an extra trap or something like that, she could move up. Fuse, this is tough because this might be a controversial pick. I'll put Fuse C. Fuse, same gun as Ace, the AK. That's a really great gun, and he has an ACOG. It's not the same ACOG as everyone else, but still 2.5 magnification. Uh, he has 4 chargers now, which is pretty useful for just like clearing out utility. And with the ADS nerf, you can really just burn all the stuff. Um, he also has the hard breach charge, which is pretty good. Um, just for like getting a hatch or whatever. And what else? What keeps him back is he's a 1 speed, and a lot of people don't really use him to clear out utility. They try to get kills with his charge, which isn't that useful. So yeah, Fuse is okay, but he could still have some changes. Glaz, I might put. This is tough. Glaz, I gotta go F. I thought with the new change to his site, like a couple updates ago, he would be like really good, like how he used to be, but he's really not. Um, he doesn't bring a lot. Uh, um, and he really just yeah, he's not that good at getting frags anymore because against automatic guns, he's not that good. Uh, yeah, just doesn't bring a lot. He has frags now, but you're really gonna be bringing the smokes. So yeah, Goyo, I'd put A. Goyo is a really good operator. 2 shields, even without the 3 that he used to have. He's pretty good. 2 really solid primaries. I think he has 2.0 on the TCSG. I could be wrong, but still has the vector, which is really good. C4, he's a 2 speed, and the shields are just good for soaking utility or just like stalling out if you want to shoot him. And yeah, Gridlock, I'll put her B. Gridlock doesn't get picked a lot just because like Nomad exists. She's good for the plant. She has smokes. 2 ACOGs, which are pretty useful. Both of her guns are really solid. The tracks are alright. Mainly just for the plant or like they're good on like staircases. You can stall that out, and they do a lot of damage actually. So Gridlock is pretty solid, but yeah, really just I would say Nomad's a lot better. Habana, this is tough. After her rework, I'd put Habana S again. Um, 2 solid guns. The Bearing 9, I'd say, is better on her than it is on Echo. 3 speed, ACOG on her primary. Um, what else? The rework where she can get 4 hatches now and like choose how many pellets is really good. She still has stuns, which help. Um, and yeah, pretty solid operator, I'd say. Yana, Yana, I would say is B. Um, she's actually really solid. There's not really a lot wrong with Yana. She just doesn't like go the extra mile, I guess. She's really good for intel with her gadget. Um, and she has frags as well. And I think an ACOG on the ARX, but not on the G36. But yeah, 2 decently solid guns, and frag. I think I said frags. 2 speed, and the gadget can helps with intel and that kind of stuff. So yeah, Yana's pretty good. IQ, I also put her B. IQ kind of fell out mainly just because Ash is the preferred fragger now. But she can be useful, and after the Echo nerf, she really kind of fell out of popularity because you don't really need her as much, and with Legion getting nerfed and all that stuff. But the scanner can help with just trying to think. I guess Capcan would help against. I don't know. It does help in certain situations, but really just with Echo not being as prevalent, she doesn't get used a lot. Um, what else? She doesn't have stuns either, which is kind of a hindrance. Uh, Only one ACOG on the AUG, which is, um, I guess good, but the Commando with 1.5 is alright, and the G8 still really good, even just with Hollow. So yeah, IQ solid fragger, but kind of fell out of popularity. Jackal I'd put A. I don't really use Jackal as much. I used to use him all the time, but really good gun with the 2.0. Secondary shotgun still has smoke grenades. They really haven't changed Jackal a lot, except for that rework like a year ago, I guess. So yeah, good for hunting roamers. Um, and yeah, really solid operator. Jaeger S tier still. Jaeger, even after the rework, it's not like you're gonna pick someone over him just because he's like still very important and like a necessary operator really on any site. They've nerfed him like a lot of times, like a lot now. The gun, the gadget, the all the stuff. So but yeah, 2 speed now. With the rework to his ADS, you can only really stop one thing before they throw the frag in, but you can just like stack 2 or 3, and they probably won't expect that. So yeah, still a great operator. The gun is still really good. It's not like the nerf did that much. The 2 speed doesn't really affect him, and yeah, Jaeger will just always be one of the best defenders. All right, Kaid, I'll put A. Kaid is just still, I'd say, better than Bandit at this point. Not as good as of a fragger, but the electric claws can just get a lot. They can get hatches. They can get like 3 walls, all next to each other. They can get yeah, mainly those two is what you're gonna use him for. Is a 1 speed, but that helps. He has a the TCSG kind of fell out of favor, but the AUG with a 1.5 is actually really good. So yeah, and a C4, and he doesn't have to use the like ACOG pistol. So yeah, he's really good. Kali, I'd put C. Uh, Really, just the sniper is what keeps her from being really good. But the Clash SMG change was really good. That gun's actually pretty good for you can just use it as a primary on her. The Lance is pretty okay, not as good as Thatcher, but it can destroy like shields and stuff, which is useful. Maybe if they gave her an extra one, she would be on par with Thatcher. Probably not, but the sniper can be really annoying if you're just like sitting outside all game and just like holding windows and stuff. But yeah, she brings more utility than all the D tier operators, so that's why I put her C. But you know, Capcan also C. I would say it's kind of tough between Capcan and Frost. Uh, Usually you can do pretty successful with Capcan and like gold or below, just with the traps. The gun is pretty decent. He has a 1.5 on it too. C4 or impacts, I think. Maybe they gave him proximity or something. But he is pretty decent. But not really. He doesn't have a shield. The traps are good, I guess, but you can just shoot him out. But yeah, Lesion. This is tough. I'll put Lesion B. Lesion still has a solid gun with a 1.5. Impacts. He's pretty good for impact tricking. He used to be like S tier, I would say, but without being able to use the goo mines for like intel, but you can still use them for the sound cues, and that is helpful. So yeah, Legion's still pretty solid, but not as good as he used to be. A Lion. This is tough. I'll put Lion B as well. Lion, good on like the really frag heavy maps where you can afford picking him over like a hard breacher or whatever. Um, the scans are pretty good for like making a play and just like if you're focusing on one person because you can pop the scan, they can't move, and then you run into sight without getting flanked or something. Um, the gun is kind of what keeps him. The gun isn't really that good. It has 50 rounds, but not still not that good. I think he has a hard breach charge and claymores or something. But yeah, really solid support operator, but not as good as some others. Maestro's S tier. Uh, there's really not a lot to say. The Evil Eye really good for stopping plants or just getting intel in general. It's also Soak's utility, like that kind of stuff. Um, you can do a lot of damage with it on like Consulate or Banker, that kind of stuff. The Alda still is the best gun on defense, I think. 81 bullets, really solid fire rate. Lost the ACOG, but you know, the Bailiff still decent for rotate, so you can get like 2 mags in. Um, Barbed wire and impacts, I think. A 1 speed, but it really like fits him. So yeah, Maestro, really great. Maverick also S tier. Maverick has no counter. Um, like on Clubhouse, he's pretty much like a must ban. Him or Ace or Thatcher, because if you don't ban any of them, they're getting the wall like no matter what you do. Um, yeah, he can get hatches now. He has 6 canisters, 3 speed, has frags. The gun is okay. Lost the ACOG, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, Maverick is just really a great operator. Malusi, Mrs. Tough, I'd also put her S. The MP5 nerf really didn't do a lot. She has an angled grip now. Still has C4, 3 speed. The Banshees are really annoying, and they're just yeah, really good operator at this point. Mira, I'd put at A. She used to be S, and then like B. Now she's pretty good now. Really just powerful if you can get her in the right spot, and she doesn't really have to be playing behind them like anyone can. Secondary shotgun, C4, the Vector, really good gun with the 1.5, and yeah, Mira, pretty solid. This is tough, but Montaigne I also put A. Montaigne is probably the best shield operator. He can full extend. He has smokes. Good for like putting pressure on the defenders, or just like really helps the plant too. The whole thing where like you melee or like you use explosives or whatever, that really didn't do anything. If you're full extend, you're really not gonna be able to shoot him. So yeah, Montaigne pretty good. Mozzie, I'd still put him A. With the shotgun, I'd say he's S, like along with Legion. Before that whole change and all that stuff, but the pests are really good. They're better than mute jammers, just as far as like drones and that kind of stuff, because you really can't jump over a pest at all. 2 really solid primaries. The Roni is really good. The Commando is also really good. C4, 2 speed. With the shotgun, he would be really good, but that's okay, I guess. So yeah. Mute, I say is S. Mute is really just a better Mozzie right now, except when it comes to like fragging, I guess. But you can run them both. You can run either or. But at this current state, Mute. If you got to bring one, you should bring Mute. He has the shotgun. Good for killing people. Good for rotates. Good for just anything. The SMG-11, really solid gun. You know, there's not much to say. C4 as well, 2 speed. The jammers are really good. He has 4 jammers. He can stop, you know, uh, hard breaching, except for Maverick. Drones. Just a lot of stuff. So yeah, Nook. Nook is F tier. Yeah, you're talking about all these good operators, and now Nook. Just not good gun and or not good gadget, I guess. Uh, yeah, like if they gave her a better gun or like reworked her gadget to be more like Cav, I guess she could be all right, but still no. Like the whole concept of her isn't that good. Even with the 1.5, even with frags, she's really just not a good entry operator. And she's still a 2 speed, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, Cat or Nook, just not a very good character. Nomad is S. She has one of the best gadgets on attack, just for like stopping run out, stopping flank, stopping just anything. Like if you run into it, you can't play the game for like 3 seconds, 3 or 4 seconds. Um, what kind of holds her back, but not really, is her guns. Um, 2 ACOGs on both her guns, which is still really powerful. Stun grenades. She lost the. You don't have to use the ACOG pistol anymore too. And yeah, Nomad just really good operator. Oryx. Oryx is tough. I'd put him D still. The whole concept of him is really weird as well. I don't really need to run through walls if I have a shotgun or anything like that. The hatch jump is really what keeps him from F tier and the T5 now. With 1.5 because he's a 2 speed, I guess. Um, but yeah, that still doesn't really save him. But yeah, Pulse, Pulse I'd say is A. Maybe I'd skip him A. Um, the UMP is what keeps him, uh, from S. Uh, really good gadget for playing below. The C4 works perfectly with him. 3 speed. Um, yeah, just the gun is what keeps him. The UMP isn't that great of a weapon. So yeah, that's Pulse. Recruit. I don't know if we're talking about him. Rook. I have to put him a tier below Doc. Yeah. The armor just isn't viable, really. There's no reason to bring him, except if you want like a 2.0, I guess. But he's just not as good as a fragger as Doc, because he's not really like self-sustainable. You can't heal yourself. Um, the impacts are nice, I guess, but yeah, I feel like if they gave him a shield and like reworked the armor, he would be pretty good. Sledge S tier. Sledge is just better than Buck now. All the reasons that Buck is good, Sledge is just better now. He has an ACOG. Has like 2 guns pretty much. The SMG-11 is really good. Frag grenades. The hammer also like destroys stuff, so you can get like shields, evil eyes, banshees, or that kind of stuff. So yeah, Sledge just really solid right now. Smoke, I'd also put S, just because he has a shield. He's probably the most viable, unless you count Goyo, operator with a shield. SMG-11 shotgun, really good combo. Um, almost fits Smoke more, I would say. And if you don't want that, you could run 1.5 on the SMG. Same with Mute, I guess. The gas just really good for stalling out. Can just be used in a lot of ways, and yeah, good for plant denial as well. Tachanka. Oh, there's 2 different Tachankas. This Tachanka is F. This Tachanka is B, I'd say. The play I'd say is still the SMG instead of the LMG, but the gadget is. People thought he was going to be really overpowered at launch, but now he's kind of like as that settled down, people are realizing he's just like he's solid, but he's not like broken. The fire, just a worse smoke, really. But if you're not comfortable with like the shotgun or whatever, you can use him because I guess the LMG does rotates, but not as well as smoke. But yeah, he also has the withstand, which is cool. But yeah, decent operator now. Thatcher S tier still. Even after the rework, he's really solid. I think he has the highest ban right now over Jackal. Um, just because if the Thatcher's up, you really can't stop the wall from getting opened. Also helps against like ADSs and just like anything on site, really. Um, yeah, Thatcher just really great, and the L85 just with 2.0 or AR33 with ACOG. Yeah, really good operator. Thermite also S. Just if Ace is banned or Maverick is banned or whatever, you can just still bring Thermite. Still has the ACOG. Really good for the wall, but kind of the easiest to trick, or like, uh, I guess, except for Habana. But yeah, still has the stun grenade. Still has uh, he's a 2-speed, just like kind of generic hard breacher, but that's still really good. So yeah, Twitch is C. They really don't know what to do with Twitch right now. Her gun is still to a point where you can't really use it that viably. Doesn't have an ACOG, 26 bullets, like really weird recoil. But and the gadget isn't very useful, and it can just get like shot. Um, but she has stuns, which doesn't really help her, and she's still a 2-speed. So yeah, Twitch not very good. Valk, Valk is tough. I'll put her A. Same reason as Pulse. Really great gadget. C4, but the gun kind of hinders her. But yeah, 3 cameras that you can put anywhere. And the run out change kind of messed with her because if you run out at all, you're guaranteed to get spotted if you like jump out a window to throw a cam. So yeah, but still really good. Vigil. This will be weird, but I also put Vigil A because I just say kind of like Doc. I was saying if you have really good skill, you can use him viably, but Vigil's just better. Kind of drone denial, but not for the whole team. Um, really great gun, good secondaries, impact grenades, all around. Solid fragging defender. Well, my this is tough. I'd put my S just because kind of with the Jaeger nerfs and the Wamai nerfs, you're gonna need to bring both of them. You don't need, but like it's really good to bring both of them. Only 4 discs, and he lost his shield, but he has an AR, same as Jaeger, and a 1.5 on the SMG. So those are both really viable options. And the discs are just really good for, like stopping projectiles, that kind of stuff. So yeah, when you bring both of them together, they're really great. Warden is D. Even with the shield and the the shield and the 1.5 and the gadget change and all this stuff, he's still not a very good operator because there's not really a lot of instances when you're gonna need to, like stop stuns or see through smoke. And like Maestro can see through smoke with the gadget. So yeah, he doesn't have that good of guns. But yeah, he's all right. Not really though. So Ying, this is tough. I'd put Ying B tier, or maybe A. I'll put her A. Same reason as Fuse, I guess, but probably better. She has 5 projectiles right now, 2 smokes and 3 candelas, so you can just burn like everything with her gadget. 81 round LMG with angle grip and ACOG. Yeah, 2-speed, really solid operator. I'd say Ying's pretty good right now. Zofia S tier. Same reasons as Ash. But she has a 2.0 on her primary. But she's a 2 speed, and she has 2 stuns now, so she technically has more projectiles than Ash, but only 2 explosive shots and 2 like stun shots. But those do help for like finding out where enemies are with the detonation, that kind of stuff. All right, so the final 2, these are the most recent operators. Zero, I'd say, is B tier. When he launched, everyone thought it was going to be really broken, but he did lose his frags for some reason. Let's think. The gun is alright, but it's not as good as like Zofia or Jackal or Ace or anything like that. Um, the gadget is okay for, but really, it's really obvious when someone has shot it. It makes a really loud sound, and just he's okay, but he's not super viable right now. And Malusi or Aruni, I'd put her A actually. Um, Good primaries, the Roni or the DMR. The punch is pretty decent for rotates. And the gadget can help a lot for burning utility and just kind of like stalling out. So, and 2 speed all around, I'd say she's pretty good. She's not, useless, and she's not broken or whatever. But yeah. Comment down below. I know for a fact you're gonna have conflicting opinions. So yeah, just comment down what you think of this list. And yeah, it's been stupendous. See ya.